Hey, I'm Carson Serino with the Serino Cigar Company. This is my new Wayfarer line, and you are watching CigarNoise Weekly.
Thanks, Carson, and welcome back to CigarNoise Weekly. I am Dave, your host, and this is your almost weekly source of everything cigar related. This week, Dom's got party tricks. Rich makes up for last week. Sean introduces us to Craft Corner. Ted's got your cigar of the week, and Kelly draw tests cigars for performance. So press pause, fire up that Serino it's been calling your name, pour yourself a glass of liquid badass. It's time to make some noise. We're skipping the news once again this week and moving straight to Rich, who is double fisting like a champ.
Last week, Dave told me I was taking things a little too literally, and that this week I would have to do something at least twice as good to make up for that. So, in honor of that, I'm smoking two cigars. I've got this one from 2006, and I've got this one from 2014. Seems twice as good to me. You might be wondering why in the world I would do such a thing. So I can taste the nuances and the subtleties of these two different cigars quite a bit better when I was smoking them side by side than if I smoked them a week apart. I might forget quite a lot about what one tasted like, but right now I can taste the significant differences that exist in the cigars, even though they are also significantly similar. It's pretty interesting so far. The 2006, as you would expect, is significantly milder, and the 2014 is giving me quite a bit more pepper and spice than the 2006 does. Now, it could be that they changed the blend or they changed something else about the cigars, but overall, it's still an interesting thing to try out. Plus, you're a gigantic badass if you pair your cigar with another cigar. Anybody can do beer or whiskey or anything like that, but it takes a pimp to do cigar and cigar pairing. Now, you could do the same thing with different sizes of the same cigar. You could do it with different years, different vintages, all different kinds of stuff. You could do it with totally different cigars. Just try it out and see what pairs well with what. But I recommend the double fisting cigar approach. It works pretty well, and I found it pretty fascinating. So it's a pretty cool exercise to go through, something to try out. Give it a shot, see what you think. Let us know in the comments what you've tried, what you'd like to try, maybe what you'd like to see one of us try, and give it a shot with some of your favorite cigars. A cigar and cigar pairing is a pretty freaking awesome thing. If you find yourself in Bluffton, South Carolina, check out Peaceful Henry's. They had a really good selection, good prices. I saw a whole bunch of good cigars that I wanted, and they also have a really cool place to hang out. A nice lounge, good atmosphere, good people, everything you could want in a cigar lounge. So if you go to Bluffton, South Carolina, or find yourself on the Carolina coast at all, find yourself a way to get to Peaceful Henry's.
Thanks, Rich, and be sure to check him out on Instagram at MooCowRich or CigarNoise.com for his reviews. Next, we're moving on to Dom, who wants to know your party trick.
I'm Dom and I like to party. Do you like to party? I'm sure you do, because if you like to smoke cigars, you like to party. You like to party?
Yeah, everything's fun at the party.
Everything's fun at the party. You heard it here first, folks. So today I'm with some folks, some friends and family, and we're all smoking cigars, having a good time. I'm just gonna find out what everyone's
Do you like Prosecco?
Party trick is. If you don't know what a party trick is, it's pretty much anything you say or do when you go to a party to appear more cool than you actually are. Eli, what is your party trick?
Is he gonna eat the cigar because I'm not trying to watch that?
I don't smoke. That's my party trick.
Okay, liar.
Uncle Dan, what is your party trick?
Your party trick is
You
breaking
want to know my party
sofas.
trick?
Oh my god, you watch Bachelorette?
That was all I could ask for
Watch
anymore.
Bachelorette.
What is your party trick?
My friend sings opera, so I always say, everybody be quiet. Ari's gonna sing opera, then I play the song and I say, Ari, sing opera now. And then she sings it, so.
Perfect.
It's amazing. And then later she says, I'm so embarrassed. And I'm like, it's okay, you did amazing.
So this is Noelle. She's smoking her first cigar. This is the Upsetters by Foundation Cigar Company. What do you think so far?
It's fruity.
Fruity. Question to you guys out there, when you're trying to introduce a cigar to somebody, where do you start? Do you go just a Connecticut wrapper, maybe a shade wrapper? Do you go infused? Drop a comment, like and subscribe. Let me know. So Noelle, what is your party trick?
Smoking a cigar now.
Ooh, that's a good one. I use that all the time.
What's your party trick?
I'm asking you guys. I can go after.
No, what's your party trick?
So my party trick is... Oh, that's it for me. Dave, welcome back to the States. Rock and roll.
Thanks, Dom, and you can check out his channel in the description or on Instagram at cigar_analogies. And next, let's move on to Sean, who has a nifty idea for all of your leftover cigar supplies.
This week on Meanwhile in Canada, we're going to do a cigar craft corner.
So maybe using some of these leftover items to do some crafts with your kids, and stay engaged in their lives, as they make their way through the summer. So here we go, Cigar Craft Corner. First craft we're going to do today, this one would be for your cigar band. So I don't know about you, but I've been to a couple summertime parties, and sometimes the glasses are all the same. So if you're having a shindig, your palache, and you're gonna have a bunch of people, or maybe find some, everyone's got a bunch of mason jars kicking around, from mom's jam or grandma's jam, and you never give them back. So maybe take one of your bands and glue it on, and then it's like, hey, I'm drinking out of the Bellas Artes glass, and I got someone's Cohiba glass here. Can I get my glass back? So you just get a little glue, a little bit of dead horse. Give it a good press down. So bam, there you go. Bellas Artes glass, first easy craft on Craft Corner. You got a couple tubes kicking around, split them in half, and what I did with this one, this is a Monte Cristo one, I poked a hole. I don't know if you can see, I poked a hole in the center of it, and then stuffed some thread in for some little yarn here for some hair, and then I drew a little face on it. So then it's like you can have a little finger puppet, and maybe put on some shows for your kids or your grandkids. It's always entertaining. And on this I did a little one over here with a little happier face and some red, white, and blue hair for all you Americans out there. So then you could put on a little show like, Daddy needs a cigar, but Daddy, you've had 3 cigars already today. I don't care. What do you do with the leftover cigar box? There's, it's a box, so I mean, you can put stuff in it. I was thinking maybe you could make, a bedside, maybe a decorative bedside caddy for something. Yeah, for whatever you might, or for the bathroom, for you keep like your toothbrush, your toothpaste, some of your shaving supplies in it and stuff like that. Now I wanted to find one. This one's got like a slide lid, so that wasn't going to serve for what I was going to do. So what I did was I found one with a flip lid, and I took some pom-poms and some glue, and I glued the pom-poms to the box. I don't know if you can read that. It says porn. So if you could put Bible on it, you can put whatever you want on it. But if you wanted to keep something close at hand, maybe by your bedside table, like porn, you could have a nice little caddy for that. So that's it. So we got your cigar glass labels and your tubes, and using your cigar box today on Meanwhile in Canada in Cigar Craft Corner. So peace.
Thanks, Sean. Be sure to check him out on Instagram at Run2Smoke. And we can't miss your cigar of the week. Here's Ted.
Cigar of the week this week is this little beauty right here. Maybe you've smoked one of these. Made by Foundation Cigar Company. And if you know a little bit about Foundation Cigar Company, you know that the guy that founded it, Nick Melillo, 11 years for Drew Estate where he worked. Drew Estate Cigars, worked there 11 years and finally decided he was going to do his own thing, which got a little respect for. But this cigar right here, been out for a couple years now. El Wawense. This first cigar by Foundation, all Nicaraguan tobacco, but one of the cigars that I may do as a cigar of the week sometime is the Tabernacle by Foundation. And after that cigar came out, I don't call Nick Melillo anymore. I just call him the badass of broadleaf. I'm going to smoke this one here in just a little bit, but some of the flavors that you're probably going to experience if you smoke this one cigar. By the way, this is Corona Gorda size. You get this for about $10, a little under, a little over, depending. But you can expect some flavors of oak and earth. You can expect some mesquite, or maybe some people might interpret it as a barbecue flavor. Some nutty almond flavor, bitter espresso, maybe a little bit of bread yeast, and maybe some flavors of dark fruit, and some leather flavors. I really like this cigar. This cigar has strengths in all the right spots, and it has all the right nuances to make it a great cigar for both a new smoker and the more experienced aficionado as yourself. Before I go on, I gotta talk about something here. So I want to talk for a minute about how you cut your cigar. Now listen, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. I've heard people talk about punch cutting their cigars, and I have a lighter here that's got a built-in punch on the end. And all you do is you take that punch and right on the cap of the cigar, I'm gonna punch right through the wrapper, just like that. Makes a nice little spot to draw through. Pretty decent draw, but if that draw is not good enough for you, you haven't ruined the cigar. It's okay. Maybe I decide I want a different cut. I can cut right over the top of that. So now I'm gonna take this V cut, cuts in a V, and that punch cut just wasn't enough. So now I'm gonna V cut, and look at that. You can't even tell that it was punch cut to start with. It has a nice V cut to it. I like that even better. And maybe that's still not enough draw. Maybe you got one of those cigars that was made on a Friday at about 4:30 p.m. weren't really paying attention to it. I could still straight cut this. So maybe that's still not enough draw. I can take my straight cutter right here. Look at 3 cuts. Nothing wrong with this cigar. Yeah. The other cut I'd like to introduce you to is a cut that I developed myself. I like to call it the T-cut. Don't sharpen this thing. Make sure that it's not sharpened. You don't want to sharp. You just want to get a good old T-cut. That's what I call it, a T-cut. What you want to do is place your cigar on there. We're just going to make a nice, smooth cut on the end. I missed there. Hang on. See, now that's perfect. Didn't even damage the band. Perfect T-cut right there. The specialty of mine. Feel free to use it anytime you feel like it. You can even call it your own thing. You don't have to call it a T-cut. This is Ted, Cigar of the Week Foundation. El Wawanse. Pick one up. Let me know what you think of it after you smoke it. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Ted. Be sure to check him out on Instagram at TedRunsAgain or CigarNoise.com for his reviews. And now we're headed to Kelly to see how each of those cuts that Ted mentioned performs on the same cigar.
I have decided to do a little experiment. Get a little scientific on you guys. So this is going to take a multi-day. This is going to be a multi-day task, which means I'm going to have to smoke multiple cigars this week. Oh no, the horror. I'm going to test a V-cut and I'm going to test a punch. And I'll do it on the same cigar so that way I can kind of compare and contrast. Loud ass katydids. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to test the same cigar with all 3 cuts and see if it affects the flavor profile, the draw, definitely the draw. Duh. The cigar that I'm going to be using is a Rocktail Decade. Very familiar with the flavor profile in general. With a straight cut, I like a straight cut. So it'll be a good one for me to be able to compare and contrast. Dom, you see them soft shoulders? You see them? That looks good, right? Yeah. Yeah, come get some. Anyways, so first one is a straight cut. Let's see what happens. Very, very easy draw. The smoke from it, the mouthfeel of the smoke is just, it's just divine. It's very, very silky, very, very, just like velvety. Just like, you know, just like that velvet, like, you know what I mean? It's like just like a classy ass velvet blazer. Just magnificent. So far so good with the straight cut. Flavors that I'm getting, you know, it's woodsy, kind of leathery. Definitely a really bold smoke. Normally I like to have, in the morning, I like to have a cigar with some black coffee. This is not one that I would pair with black coffee, you know, unless you want to get kicked in the mouth first thing in the morning. So part 2, we're doing a punch cut. Check it out. So same cigar, Rocky Patel Decade. Thought I wouldn't like the punch, I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be some bullshit. And I really like it. It's really good. It's still got just as good of a draw as a straight cut, and the flavor's a little bit more concentrated. So punch cut, so far so good. I like it a whole lot more than I anticipated I would. Let's see if the V cut is any different than the punch or the straight cut. I'm not even gonna front. I like the V cut. I really like the V cut. It's making the flavors, it's even more intense than with the punch. It's making the cigar a lot spicier, which I like. I like a spicy cigar. I don't like it, like, you know, so spicy that you feel like you got a mouthful of peppercorns or anything. But, you know, it's making it a little bit spicier, but still enjoyable. So, like, enjoyable spicy. The draw is just as good. I thought, you know, the draw would suck without a straight cut. I thought it would suck, and it doesn't. I really didn't want to like the V-cut. I really wanted to be like, I don't know what you V-cut people are talking about. It's exactly the same. So, no, I get it now. This is good. Of the 3 that I tried, I really like the punch. I'm not even gonna lie. I think I may be a punch convert. I mean, the V is really good. The V is making the flavors a little bit more intense, but I feel like the smoke isn't as silky as it was with the straight and the V. It's still silky smoke, you know, it's still really good mouthfeel and all that, but I don't know, something about that punch was just divine. It was just divine. So, of my very scientific experiment full of just oodles of qualitative data, you know, there's nothing concrete about any of this, so, you know, you make your own decision. I like the punch the best. I think I like the punch the best. So, what do you like the best? I took a poll on my Instagram. It was pretty split down the middle between a straight and a V. There were some outliers who really liked the punch, but the straight and the V were the two big winners. So let us know what you think in the comments. How do you like to cut your cigar?
Kelly, ladies and gents, be sure to check her out on Instagram at Kelly Sprinkles. Last but certainly not least, here's your deal of the week.
And for roughly $61 shipped, we've got the Blackwork Studios MBK, Davidoff's Art Edition 2017, the Dapper Cubo Maduro, Emilio's LJZ, and the new Cloud Hopper from the Gallus family, as well as that CigarNoise Rest.
There's only a handful of these packs each week that go up, so be sure and get them while you can. And as always, thanks for watching.